Hey there, hope you had a wonderful weekend. I wanted to spend a little bit of time today to bring you up to date on a few things that I think you should be in the loop on. And at the very end of this video, I've got a special announcement, so you'll definitely want to stick around to the end to hear that. So, first of all, I'm really excited to finally announce that the My Retirement Clarity University portal that I've been talking about now for a couple months is finally live. So you're going to get an email later today with a link to access that portal. Now that email is going to come from My Retirement Clarity University, and it's going to say that we've set up an account for you. And so all you got to do is click the blue link that says for you to set up a password, and you'll have full access to the site. Now we're still building this out, but you're going to have access right now to 2 courses. The sections on this platform that's called Kajabi, and you don't need to know that. The sections in the platform are called courses. And so one of the courses is called Know Your Number. And so this is a course that I did a while back, really for prospects of our firm. And I know some of you have gone through that as well, but there's really a lot of great information in there. So feel free to go through that course. But that's a specific course that was done for a specific reason. The second course that you're going to get access to is called the Client Resource Center. And this is what we're really excited about. Again, it's just going to be a centralized place for you to go and access, past client connection videos, as well as, information on taxes and Social Security and things like that, things that you can download. We're going to also be adding topical videos on a bunch of different topics. So you'll have access to all the information that we've provided to you in the past and going forward in just one easy to access central location. We're still building it out, and there's going to be a lot more that we'll put on it. So after you've had time to mess around with it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, I'd love to get your feedback, because we really want to make this a great experience for the end user, which of course is you. So I want to turn a little bit now and talk just briefly about the stock market. I know it's been a wild roller coaster ride over the last year and a half, and honestly, it hadn't been a whole lot of fun for anybody. Nobody likes to see account values drop, but certainly, we know that's a part of being in the stock market. So far, this year, for the first, what are we, almost the end of April? Here we are on May the 1st. The first part of the year, things have sort of trended upward. January was really good. Things dropped off pretty quickly in February and probably the first part of March, but since then, things seem to be a little bit back to normal. We hadn't had any major down days, in the last 3-4 weeks. It seems like those 400 and 500, 700 point down days on the Dow get people really anxious, and people honestly start to question their overall strategy. And I know, of course, even though markets are up a little bit this year, we're still digging out of a hole from last year. Markets are down pretty significantly, as you know. And I know for a lot of you who recently retired or even thinking about retiring this year, makes you a little bit nervous, because you see account values dropping, and maybe it's been a while since you've experienced that. But what I want you to know, and what I want to remind you of, is stock markets, all of the markets, they're unpredictable, and there's nothing that we can do to change that. And you can't try to outsmart it. So if you try to jump in and out of the market, you're going to wind up being very, very frustrated. Markets react to news, and news is very, very unpredictable. So I'm a firm believer that the best thing that any of us can do is just be patient. Let the markets work, because over time, markets are efficient, and you're going to make money in the stock market. So again, I know it's very frustrating not to see the market go up every single day. But tomorrow they may go up, tomorrow they go down. But again, you want to make sure that you're invested over the long term, because I've said this a lot recently. If we wait until there's no turmoil in the world, or until all uncertainty is gone, we'd probably never get in the stock market. So we'll continue to maintain our investment discipline, and we hope that you do too. But if you have any questions about your situation or anything related to your strategy, of course, give the office a call and we'll get on the calendar and talk through it. Now, the next thing that I wanted to touch on today is the stark reality that we're all getting older. And as we age, sometimes it doesn't go as planned. And I know some of you are going through this right now with your parents, or maybe you've gone through this already with your parents in the past. And I know that some of you are going through this personally right now. It's not a whole lot of fun. My parents have told me for years that getting older is not for sissies. So when we don't age the way we'd like to, at some point we're going to face the reality that somebody else is probably going to have to take care of us. Now, I think a lot of us, because I've talked to a lot of you, are sort of under the impression that your spouse is going to take care of you. And I have seen this play out, but once that spouse is gone, who takes care of the surviving spouse? Who's left? And after talking to a lot of you about this issue, very few of you are really super comfortable with having your children take care of you. I know sometimes people will joke about it, but it's probably not really what you want to happen. Number one, you probably don't want to be a burden to your kids. And number two, do you really want to have your kids bathe you and help you go to the bathroom? I can't really imagine that that's an outcome that anybody wants. I know I don't want that, and I'm assuming that my kids don't want that either, for me and Pam. So we got to make plans to pay for somebody else to sort of take care of us. Of course, buying a traditional long-term care policy is an option, but the statistics tell us that 8 or 10% of people actually do that. So most people don't do it. And a lot of times people don't do it because they don't want a monthly premium. So what I wanted to talk to you about briefly today is asset-based long-term care. And I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but basically the way this works is you carve out a small section of your assets for the sole purpose of that being a hedge against some type of long-term care event in the future. If you don't use the assets for long-term care, when you pass away, there's a death benefit, and some of that money is going to go to your beneficiary. Now, I know a lot of you already have this in place. We've put that in place for a lot of you. But for some of you, it may not be as familiar to you. So I kind of wanted to show you a little bit of what it looks like. So I ran some numbers for different age groups just so you could see how things work. So as you can see, we started at age 55, and I ran it every 5 years until age 75. And so for this example, I'm really solving for a $2,000 a month benefit right now. So the monthly benefit that you, in doing the illustrations, the lowest monthly benefit that you can have is $2,083. So that's the benefit that I'm starting with in year one. So we've added an inflation benefit of 3% to this. And so you can see what that benefit looks like going forward in future years. In year 15, the benefit is a little over $3,100. So, and of course, to get this monthly benefit, since this is an asset-based long-term care product, you've got to fund the policy with a certain amount of money up front. So at the bottom of this chart, I show you the dollar amount required for you to put in to receive the monthly benefits based on whatever age you are. So for example, as you can see, a 60-year-old male would have to put in $32,865 in the account or in the policy to immediately get the $2,083 monthly benefit. But in 10 years, that benefit will be $2,718. So if you want to pause the video and find the age that you're closest to get a ballpark idea, you can certainly do that. Now, obviously, these are just standard quotes based on just a standard health rating, and your rating might be a little bit different. And of course, you may not be one of the ages that I have on the screen, but I just wanted to kind of show you how this works to give you an idea. So if this is something that you think you're interested in, please call the office and schedule a phone call with me. So what I want to do is have a conversation about this before we meet, because if we meet about this, I want to give you specific numbers on your situation using your date of birth and whatever monthly benefit that you're trying to solve for. So again, if you want to explore it, call the office. We'll do that phone call, and when we get together, I'll have everything that we need for you to make a decision on whether or not you want to go forward with this. It's a simple process. It's an e-app, so we do it right here online. It's also considered simplified underwriting, which means for most people, probably 70% of the people, there is no paramed exam. It's just a simple phone screening done by the company, and they'll do what's called a script check, meaning they'll pull the medications and the prescriptions that you're on. So again, if you're interested in that, let us know. You know, I started this business in 2014, and God has blessed this firm way beyond my wildest dreams. And we've been able to help more and more families than I ever thought we could. And we continue to grow every single year. And a lot of that's because of you guys. You're so gracious in referring people to us, and so I really do appreciate that. And one of the things that I always want to do is I always want to make sure that we're doing everything we can do to take care of our clients. And now I know not everybody is in the same place. Everybody's in a different phase of life, and not everybody requires the same level of guidance. However, as our clients enter different phases of life, we've got to be prepared to deal with the complexities that come with that for all of our client families. And so one of my goals is to make sure that our firm is here for another 50 or 60 years. I want our firm to not only serve you, but I want them to serve your children and your grandchildren and their children. And so for that to happen, we have to be prepared for continued growth. And our first step towards that is by hiring another advisor, somebody to help serve not only our existing clients, but new clients that come to our firm in the future. So this person is going to work alongside me very closely. It's going to take some time for me to train the right person, and my expectations are probably going to be pretty high for this person. They're going to help free up some of my time so that I can spend a little bit more time working on the business, of course with the goal of enhancing the overall experience for all of our clients. We want to continue to get better at what we do. So as of today, we're officially looking for another advisor. And the whole reason I'm bringing this to your attention is because, we've got some really great clients, and a lot of you know people who might wind up being a good fit for our firm. You sort of, you know who we are, what we do, and how we do it, and whether or not someone might be a good fit for what we're looking for. So, of course, we're going to seek applicants or prospective employees from traditional avenues as well. But I would really appreciate it if you guys could maybe put the word out, have them reach out to us, send us a resume. We're also going to see if we can put a link on our website to accept applicants and people who might be interested. I don't really know how quickly we can get that done, but anyway, we are really excited about this next phase for the firm and what God's got in store for all of us. So I know this message was probably a little bit longer than I'd originally intended to do, but I appreciate you sticking around to the end. So as a reminder, be sure to check your email for the Client Connection, the Client Connection email that will have this video on it as well. But it's going to have a lot more information in there that you want to check out. And also remember to be on the lookout for that email to give you access to the Client Resource Center on the My Retirement Clarity University website. So anyway, that's it for now, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Take care.